Nicole Murphy had a relationship with your ex-husband. Were you two friends? I've been to her house. She was at my bachelorette party. At the time, my mother told me, but you gotta watch that one there. I replied, yeah, that's Eddie Murphy. That's why she said you got to watch that one current wife at the time or ex at the time. I want to say I think she was still married. I was like, and so your mom told you about New School. You feel like you're no moment. There have been very few occasions when we have discussed Miss Lisa Raye McCoy. But this is undoubtedly one of them, because of the way she called out Nicole Murphy for sleeping with her ex-husband. Nicole and Lisa Raye were good friends when Nicole had the brilliant idea to start playing around with Michael McKissick, Lisa Raye's ex-husband, in Lisa Raye's own home. Since then, Nicole has been dragging Nicole out, calling her out for her questionable narcissistic behavior and making it very clear that she has no remorse for betraying Lisa Raye like that. Nicole Murphy has been running through her friends' husbands like she's in the Fast and Furious franchise since she got divorced from Eddie Murphy. You may recall that she got caught up in a scam when her friend Tony Stratos defrauded her of $10 million from her $15 million divorce settlement, which is nothing compared to what Eddie actually earned during their marriage and the number of children. She pushed out for him 5, but I'm getting off topic. I bet Nicole saw her life flash before her eyes. It's the moment she realized that the child support was rapidly drying out because those kids were approaching the age of 18. Nicole wanted to return to the life she had grown accustomed to, and like some attractive women who rely heavily on their appearance, she was searching for the next man to bankroll her life. I'm not judging, so there's nothing wrong with that. Do you, boo-boo? But when she started slithering around men who were married to her friends, she didn't stay single for long. After being called out, she picked herself up, picked up her little one, and went out to find the next home. It was a PR nightmare for Nicole. And she really tried to get ahead of the situation by claiming that they were just family friends. Another friendly, laid-back word on the street was that Eddie wasn't too happy about all the negativity and made her go back and publicly apologize because all of a sudden, she came out saying all of this stuff about her not sending the message and trying to get away with a fake apology. Child, I don't know. It was a mess. But trust me, Wendy, trust me. I wish it hadn't happened. Well, I think it was a moment where I should have thought things through more and made better judgments. I was dealing with the fact that there were familiar faces out there and it happened. Where did this happen? I was in Italy. I mean, where did that happen right there? You all look like you just woke up in the morning. We weren't in the same time zone, so I was having trouble staying awake. I was drinking espresso, so that's okay. Then you leaned in, and it was a moment that shouldn't have happened. I regret it, I apologize, and I'm a human. Now, I don't think someone could have called the paparazzi to take pictures of her. That's what I thought anyway. And this isn't the first time she's done it. She's doing it because she really wants to be with him. Of course. And if they're kissing like that, what are the chances that these two black people would be in Italy and run into each other if they didn't leave America to go to Italy together? What are the chances that the foreign paparazzi won't check for either of them and will find them in some remote part of Italy to take a picture of this director, who we never see, and ACL Murphy, who we never see? The robes were in your swimwear as if they were waiting for you. So that's what I was hearing, and I didn't report it because I was trying to be like, that's my girl and love muffins. If you don't believe that, go back to a podcast a while ago when I was talking about this and I was pumping the brakes. I was like, no. I was doing that. I'm just reaching for everything, trying to not really expose her for being the lying scuttlewag. Staken was actually searching for a wealthy man because Nicole had already done the same thing to Lisa Raye. So let's handle it like a woman, and let's talk face to face, and let's get it out. However, here's the thing. I sat with her a few months ago, longer than a couple of months ago, about 6 months ago, and I said, let's talk about it because I waited a very long time for you and I to get like this right here, face to face, and no, Nicole, relaxed. And we had a good conversation. Can't bridge the gap between women. We shouldn't be in that situation. I'll say this. Nicole had an affair with Michael McKissick while he was married to Lisa Raye. Nicole moved like a green snake in green grass. So, of course, she denied ever having an affair with Lisa Raye's husband. Lisa Raye didn't back down and confirmed again that Nicole had an affair with her ex-husband. The Brat H's little sister also said the same thing, which is absolutely true. So what happened is that she messed with my husband. Turn into an "I'm sorry" apology. What do you mean that you didn't know that she was married? We all know that she was married for 20 years, and that's history. You don't do that among friends because there's no loyalty. You have to look up the person you invite into your home, celebrate your birthdays with, and go to games with. The two of them are said to have been close friends for years, and they travel in the same circle. My problem is that you're not talking about it. However, even your sister brat, Lisa Raye McCoy, jumped on social media and said, "Girl, Nikki Murphy, you went after Leela's husband too. What's the fine print of the tea?" For example, did she pursue Lisa Raye's husband when she was married? My sister was the first lady of Turks and Caicos. She hasn't changed her story. And she hasn't let Nicole forget that she pulled this on her so that Nicole Murphy had relations with your ex-husband. Were you two friends? I've been to her house, and she was at my bachelorette party. At that time, my mother told me, "You know what? That's Eddie Murphy's wife." If you had a girlfriend who owned an island, I would assume that you would call and say, "Hey girl, I'm coming because I was getting everybody to come." However, I don't know how that could happen, so I guess not. I've never owned a private plane, so I don't know about that part. You know, your mom told you something about the new school, and you feel like you're old school. You know, she was right. How did you find out? Knowing the manifest on the list, I tried to call her. At first, she said, "No, I haven't been to Turks and Caicos." Then I called her again, and she stopped picking up. At this point, I discovered that she was dating Michael Strawn. I called him and asked if he knew anything about it, saying, we talked or whatever. I said, let me send you a tape that I have of proof. And I did. What was on the tape was of her dropping him in her car at the private airport. Lisa Raye sent the proof to Nicole's then-boyfriend, Michael Strahan. And I'm assuming that was enough for Michael and Nicole to call off their engagement and part ways. However, Nicole has no intention of apologizing to Lisa Raye in the manner that she did. I'm going to leave you right there because that part is my business and the other part is someone else's business, which I've never known would speak on. But for me, that was enough. According to Nicole, she wasn't the only one of ours friends that Michael was sleeping with and financing their lifestyle. But for some reason, Lisa Raye seems to have more energy and venom for her than any of the other media. It could be social media, but it took on a mountain of its own. And like I said, I listen. It said I broke up somebody's marriage, which is absolutely false. I never did that. There was a statement released by that ex-husband. And you're talking about when Lisa claimed to have slept with her husband? But I know it's not true. It has nothing to do with me, because Nicole is still grieving the loss of her partner, Warren Braw, too. Cancer, and doesn't really have time to deal with any mess that Lisa Raye brings to her door. Instead of going after the cheating man who promised to be faithful and broke those vows every time. According to Nicole, Lisa Raye is still hung up on her ex, which is why she's looking for someone to blame rather than accepting that it wasn't meant to work out. First, it was Dwayne Martin, Tisha Campbell's ex-husband, and now it's Nicole, ex-husband, and now it's Nicole. After Lisa Raye's viral interview was released, Nicole posted this on social media with the caption, "It's some money at my table. Grab a seat with me cost a ticket just to cover my legal fees. It costs side don't hang with jealous bees. That's a weak disease. Hold on, run up. If you're broke and in my business, then just shut up. I invest in my body, so I'm done." Nicole is tired of Lisa Raye constantly dragging, poking, and blaming her for a marriage that was never going to work. In her comment, someone said, "When you hit the is, you ain't got to say a word, just flex," end quote. But Nicole still ain't winning points with anyone. Lisa Raye was her friend. So no matter what issues she and Michael had in their relationship, Nicole shouldn't have been one of them, and people are still dragging her for it. As long as Lisa Raye is alive, Nicole Murphy will never know peace for effing her man while still being her friend, And she isn't wrong. I don't understand how. Nicole, do you think Lisa Raye is right to continue talking about this? Or should she let it go and leave Nicole alone? Let's talk in the comments. Make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, Patties. In her marriage to Eddie, after being cheated on and having affairs with her friends' husbands, she seems to care more about being hot and alluring than her friendships with Lisa Raye or Lila.